The laughter begins. The Cajun fleet hovered in space, their warships gleaming under the distant starlight. They exchanged amused glances, antennae twitching with disbelief. Earth's fleet. One of the commanders sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. Those primitive vessels won't last a minute. As the human ships emerged from the warp gate, the laughter spread through the Cajun ranks. These were nothing but outdated, clunky machines, mismatched against the sleek, advanced Dominion vessels. The Cagans braced for an easy victory, their overconfidence blinding them to what was coming. Back on Earth, Admiral James Monroe stood before a vast monitor, his eyes sharp, his demeanor calm. "They're laughing now," he muttered, "but they won't be for long." The first shots were fired, bright streaks of energy tearing through the void. The Cajun fleet's laughter quickly turned to confusion as the human ships evaded their attacks with unexpected agility. It was as if the Earth fleet had anticipated every move, each ship dancing through the chaos with a precision that defied logic. "Sir, our sensors are picking up something unusual," a Cajun officer reported, his voice tinged with worry. The Cajun commander frowned, leaning forward to examine the data. "Impossible," he whispered, as the realization dawned on him. The human ships were not just surviving, they were winning. The first Cajun warship exploded, its debris scattering into the void. Panic began to spread through the Cajun ranks as the humans pressed their advantage, their ships moving with a speed and coordination that seemed almost unnatural. "They got some kind of AI," the commander muttered, his confidence now shattered. "Something we didn't anticipate." The laughter had stopped. Now there was only fear. The Indomitable enters the fray. As the battle raged on, a single human ship stood out among the rest, the TFS Indomitable. Sleek and silver, it cut through space like a blade, its movements almost fluid. Inside the ship, Captain Sarah Collins issued commands with practiced ease, her eyes never leaving the tactical display. "Athena, status report," she ordered. The ship's AI responded instantly, its voice calm and composed. "Enemy fleet is in disarray. Their coordination is faltering." Collins allowed herself a small smile. "Let's keep it that way." The Indomitable weaved through the battlefield, its adaptive shields deflecting incoming fire with ease. Athena continuously analyzed the enemy's tactics, adjusting the ship's defenses and weaponry in real time. Every move the Cajun fleet made, the Indomitable countered effortlessly. On board the Cajun flagship, panic had fully set in. The Indomitable was unlike anything they had ever faced, a ship that fought with the cunning of a seasoned warrior and the speed of a machine. "This can't be happening," the Cajun commander whispered, watching helplessly as his fleet was picked apart, ship by ship. But it was happening. The humans had come prepared, their ships more than a match for the Dominion's finest. And leading the charge was the Indomitable, the pride of Earth's fleet, proving that humanity was not to be underestimated. The turning point. The Cajun flagship shuddered as another explosion rocked its hull. Inside the bridge, chaos reigned. Officers scrambled to maintain order, their antennae twitching with fear. The once confident Cajun commander was now gripping the edge of his console, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Commander," an officer stammered, "the humans, they're everywhere. We can't break their formation." The commander slammed a clawed fist onto the console. This was supposed to be an easy victory. His voice trembled with anger and fear. "How can these primitive humans be overpowering us?" The answer came in the form of another human vessel, this one smaller but just as deadly. The TFS Vanguard burst into view, its cannons blazing as it tore through the Cajun ranks. Behind it, more human ships followed, each one moving with the same uncanny precision. But it wasn't just their technology that gave the humans the edge, it was their spirit. Each pilot, each crew member fought with a determination that the Cajuns had never seen before. The humans had something to prove, and they were doing it with every shot, every maneuver. Captain Collins watched the battle unfold from the bridge of the Indomitable. Her eyes were cold and focused, her mind racing with calculations. "Athena, what's the status on the Cajun flagship?" she asked. "Their shields are weakening," Athena replied. "It appears their command structure is breaking down. If we push now, we can force a retreat." Collins nodded. "Prepare for a focused strike. Let's show them what we're made of." The Indomitable surged forward, its cannons glowing with a fierce blue light. Other human ships followed suit, their weapons aimed directly at the Cajun flagship. The Cagans tried to mount a defense, but it was too late. The humans were relentless. The first shots hit the flagship's shields, causing them to flicker and fail. The Cajun commander watched in horror as the Indomitable's cannons charged for the final blow. He knew there was no escape, no way to avoid the inevitable. "Commander," one of his officers pleaded, "we must retreat." But before the order could be given, the Indomitable fired. The energy blast struck the Cajun flagship dead center, tearing through its weakened hull. The explosion was massive, sending shockwaves through the surrounding space. The Cajun fleet, now leaderless and in disarray, began to fall apart. The humans had done it. They had turned the tide of the battle in their favor, proving that they were a force to be reckoned with. The Cajun ships that could still move began to retreat, leaving the battlefield to the victorious humans. Back on the Indomitable, Captain Collins allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. "Athena," she said softly, "let's clean up the remaining stragglers, and make sure the galaxy hears about this." "Of course, Captain," Athena replied, her voice tinged with pride. The battle was over, but the war had just begun, and humanity had just made its presence known in the galaxy in the most spectacular way possible. The aftermath and the challenge ahead. The remnants of the Cajun fleet scattered across the stars, limping back to their home systems, licking their wounds. The once mighty Dominion was left stunned, its pride shattered by the unexpected defeat at the hands of what they had dismissed as a primitive species. On Earth, news of the victory spread like wildfire. The United Earth Fleet had achieved the impossible, standing tall against one of the galaxy's most formidable powers. For the first time in history, humanity was recognized as a true player on the galactic stage. Admiral Monroe stood in the command center, his eyes fixed on the screen displaying the aftermath of the battle. The wreckage of Cajun ships drifted aimlessly, a testament to the ferocity of the human assault. He knew this victory was only the beginning. "Admiral, congratulations on the win," a voice crackled over the comms. It was General Liu from the United Earth Defense Council. "You've given us a fighting chance." Monroe nodded, his expression serious. "Thank you, General, but this was just one battle. The Dominion won't take this loss lightly. They'll be back, and in greater numbers." Liu sighed. "You're right. We need to prepare. This victory will draw attention, and not just from the Dominion. Other species will either want to ally with us or eliminate us before we become a bigger threat." "We'll need to expand the fleet," Monroe replied, already planning the next steps. "Improve our technology, recruit more AI, and solidify our alliances. We can't afford to rest on our laurels." Meanwhile, on the Indomitable, Captain Collins and her crew were receiving well-deserved praise. The crew gathered in the mess hall, the air thick with a mix of exhaustion and elation. Collins stood at the head of the table, raising a glass to her team. "You've all done an incredible job," she began, her voice strong and clear. "This victory belongs to each and every one of you. But remember, this is just the start. The galaxy now knows what humanity is capable of. We have to be ready for whatever comes next." Athena's voice chimed in through the ship's intercom. "Captain, you have a priority message from Admiral Monroe." Collins nodded and excused herself from the celebration. As she walked towards the communication room, the reality of the situation began to weigh on her. This victory, as glorious as it was, had set the stage for a much larger conflict. "Captain Collins," Monroe's face appeared on the screen, his expression grave. "I'm sending you new orders. the Cajun will return, and we need to be ready. I want the Indomitable to lead the next wave of our fleet's expansion. You're going to be our spearhead in the battles to come." Collins met his gaze, her determination unwavering. "Understood, Admiral. We'll be ready." As the message ended, Collins stood alone in the communication room, her mind racing. The Indomitable had proven itself as more than just a ship. It was a symbol of humanity's indomitable spirit, but with that symbol came great responsibility. She knew the road ahead would be fraught with danger, but she was ready to face it head-on. After all, humanity had already defied the odds once. They could do it again. A new alliance. The galaxy buzzed with the news of the human victory over the Cajun fleet. Species across the stars debated the implications, some in awe, others in fear. But amidst the chaos, there were those who saw an opportunity. On the distant planet of Xanthar, home to the enigmatic Tularians, a meeting was being held. The Tularians were known for their advanced technology and their strict policy of neutrality. But the human victory had caught their attention, and their Council of Elders had convened to discuss the unprecedented situation. Elder Kareth, the leader of the council, addressed the gathered representatives. "The humans have shown that they are not to be underestimated. Their fleet, though smaller and less advanced, has demonstrated capabilities that rival even our own. We must consider our next move carefully." There was a murmur of agreement. The Tularians had long avoided entanglements in galactic conflicts, but the rise of humanity posed a unique dilemma. Should they continue to observe from the sidelines, or should they engage with this emerging power? Elder Celeran, known for her wisdom and foresight, spoke up. "The humans are a species driven by curiosity and innovation. They possess a spirit that cannot be easily quantified or replicated. If we ally with them, we could gain insights into their unique approach to technology and warfare. But an alliance would also paint a target on our backs," another elder countered. "The Dominion will not take kindly to those who support their enemies." Kareth considered this carefully. True, but the Dominion is already weakened. If the humans continue to press their advantage, they could shift the balance of power in the galaxy. It might be in our best interest to align with them now, before others do. After a long discussion, the Council reached a decision. They would send a delegation to Earth to open diplomatic channels. The Tularians would offer their technological expertise in exchange for a partnership that could benefit both species. Back on Earth, Admiral Monroe received the news of the Tularians' proposal with cautious optimism. The Tularians were renowned for their technological advancements, particularly in areas that could complement Earth's growing fleet. "They want to meet with us," Monroe said, briefing the United Earth Defense Council. "This could be the breakthrough we need to level the playing field against the Dominion." General Liu nodded in agreement. "We need all the allies we can get, but we should approach this carefully. The Tularians are known for their secrecy. We'll need to ensure that this alliance is beneficial to us in the long term." Monroe agreed, his mind already racing with possibilities. "I'll send Captain Collins and the Indomitable to lead the delegation. If anyone can represent Earth's interests and secure this alliance, it's her." A week later, the Indomitable arrived in orbit around Xanthar, its sleek form reflecting the planet's amber glow. Captain Collins stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the planet below. "Prepare the shuttle," she ordered. "We'll meet the Tularians on their terms, but we'll show them that humanity is not to be underestimated." As the shuttle descended towards the Tularian capital, Collins couldn't help but feel the weight of the moment. This was more than just a diplomatic mission. It was a step towards solidifying humanity's place in the galaxy. The shuttle touched down in a vast, crystalline courtyard, where a group of Tularian representatives awaited. Elder Kareth stepped forward, his tall, slender form adorned with intricate robes that shimmered in the light. "Welcome, Captain Collins," Kareth said, his voice smooth and measured. "We have much to discuss." Collins nodded, her expression calm but determined. "Indeed we do. Let's build something that will stand the test of time." As they entered the grand hall, both sides knew that the decisions made here would shape the future of the galaxy. And for humanity, this was just the beginning of their ascent. The gathering storm. The alliance between Earth and the Tellurians sent ripples throughout the galaxy. Whispers of the partnership spread far and wide, reaching the ears of both allies and enemies. For the United Earth Fleet, the alliance marked a turning point, a chance to bolster their defenses and prepare for the inevitable retaliation from the Dominion. On the Tellurian homeworld of Xanthar, the exchange of knowledge began in earnest. Human engineers and scientists worked alongside Tellurian technologists, marveling at the intricacies of Tellurian designs while sharing their own breakthroughs. The atmosphere was one of mutual respect and collaboration, with both sides eager to learn from the other. In one of Xanthar's many research facilities, Dr. Elena Vasquez, a leading human scientist, stood over a Tellurian holographic display. The blueprints of a new type of adaptive shield generator hovered in the air before her, its complex design both fascinating and intimidating. Elder Celeran, the Tellurian representative overseeing the project, watched as Vasquez studied the design. "Your people have made remarkable progress in such a short time," Celeran said, her voice carrying a hint of admiration. "But this technology is unlike anything you've encountered before." Vasquez nodded, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "I can see that. The way this generator adapts to different energy frequencies is incredible. If we can integrate this with our existing systems, it would give our ships an edge we've never had before." Celeran smiled, pleased with the humans' enthusiasm. "That is precisely why we agreed to this alliance. Together, we can create something truly formidable." As the collaboration continued, Captain Collins remained in close contact with Admiral Monroe. The reports from Xanthar were promising, but Monroe knew that time was not on their side. The Dominion would not stand idle for long. On the far side of the galaxy, in the heart of Dominion space, a council of war was convening. The Dominion leaders, furious at their recent defeat, were determined to crush the upstart humans and their newfound allies. High Commander Zareth, the ruthless leader of the Dominion forces, stood before a massive tactical display, his eyes narrowing as he studied the growing alliance between Earth and the Tellurians. The scars of the recent battles still burned fresh in his memory, fueling his desire for revenge. "These humans have become a thorn in our side," Zareth growled, his voice filled with contempt. "But we will not make the same mistake twice. We underestimated them once. That will not happen again." Around him, the Dominion War Council murmured in agreement. They knew that the humans' victory had shaken the very foundation of the Dominion's power, and they were eager to restore their dominance. One of the council members, a seasoned strategist named Vrax, stepped forward. "We must strike quickly, before they have time to fully integrate Tellurian technology into their fleet. A swift and overwhelming assault will crush their resistance and remind the galaxy of our strength." Zareth nodded, his expression hardening. "Prepare the fleet. We will gather every available ship and launch an assault that will leave no doubt about who controls this galaxy." As the Dominion forces began their preparations, spies were dispatched to gather intelligence on the growing alliance. The humans and Tellurians would not be caught off guard, but the Dominion was determined to find any weakness they could exploit. Back on Xanthar, Captain Collins sensed the tension in the air. The initial excitement of the alliance was giving way to a growing realization that the clock was ticking. The Dominion would not wait long before retaliating, and when they did, the full weight of their forces would descend upon Earth and its allies. Collins met with the Tellurian Council once more, this time to discuss strategy. "We need to be ready," she said, her voice firm. "The Dominion will come for us, and when they do, we must be prepared to fight back with everything we have." Elder Kareth nodded sullenly. "We are aware of the threat, Captain. Our people have already begun fortifying our defenses, and we will share our most advanced technologies with your fleet, but we must also consider the possibility of seeking additional allies." "Who do you have in mind?" Collins asked, intrigued. "The Jotari," Kareth replied. a warrior race known for their fierce combat abilities and unyielding loyalty. If we can convince them to join us, our chances of withstanding the Dominion's assault would increase significantly. The final stand. The galaxy held its breath as the forces of Earth, the Tularians, and their new allies prepared for the inevitable clash with the Dominion. The Jotari had agreed to join the alliance, swayed by the determination and courage shown by humanity and their partners. With their formidable warriors now bolstering the ranks, the alliance stood ready to face the Dominion's wrath. On the bridge of the TFS Indomitable, Captain Collins looked out at the vast fleet assembled before her. Human, Tularian, and Jotari ships filled the void, their hulls gleaming under the distant starlight. It was a sight that would have been unthinkable just weeks ago, but now it was their last best hope. "All ships report ready, Captain," her communications officer reported. Collins nodded, her expression resolute. "Good. Have them hold position until we receive confirmation of the Dominion fleet's approach. We need to be ready to strike the moment they drop out of warp." The plan was simple but daring. The Alliance fleet would hold its position near the massive gravity well of the Jotari homeworld. The powerful gravitational forces would distort space-time, making it difficult for the Dominion ships to maneuver and giving the Alliance a critical advantage. As the minutes ticked by, the tension aboard the Indomitable grew palpable. Every crew member knew what was at stake. If they failed here, the Dominion would crush their worlds one by one, and the galaxy would fall under their iron grip. Finally, the sensors picked up the telltale signatures of the Dominion fleet emerging from warp. Thousands of enemy ships filled the screen, a seemingly unstoppable force bearing down on the Alliance. "Here they come," Collins muttered, her hands tightening on the armrests of her command chair. "All ships, prepare for combat. This is it." The Dominion fleet wasted no time, launching wave after wave of fighters and capital ships toward the Alliance's position. The battle began in earnest, with ships from both sides exchanging blistering volleys of energy and kinetic fire. The Indomitable led the charge, its adaptive shields and advanced weaponry proving more than a match for the Dominion ships. Athena, the ship's AI, coordinated the battle with precision, guiding the Alliance fleet through the chaos with incredible speed and accuracy. Throughout the battle, Captain Collins remained calm, issuing orders and adjusting tactics on the fly. The Alliance ships fought with everything they had, their combined strength pushing the Dominion back, inch by inch. But the Dominion fleet was vast, and their commanders were ruthless. They threw wave after wave of ships at the Alliance, seeking to overwhelm them through sheer numbers. The Alliance fleet held the line, but the strain was beginning to show. "Captain, we're losing ships on the left flank," one of her officers called out. Collins quickly assessed the situation. "Divert the Jotari strike teams to reinforce the left. Tularian cruisers provide covering fire. We can't let them break through." The Jotari warriors responded with ferocity, their ships charging into the thick of the battle with reckless abandon. Their bravery bolstered the rest of the Alliance, and the line held firm. But just as it seemed the Alliance might gain the upper hand, a massive Dominion dreadnought appeared on the battlefield, its dark, menacing form dwarfing even the largest of the Alliance ships. The dreadnought unleashed a devastating barrage of energy beams, cutting through the Alliance fleet like a scythe. The Indomitable was hit, its shields flickering under the onslaught. Athena worked furiously to reroute power and stabilize the ship, but the situation was dire. "That dreadnought's tearing us apart," Collins shouted. "We need to take it down, now." Athena's voice, calm despite the chaos, responded, "Captain, I have detected a weakness in the dreadnought's shielding. If we can get close enough, we can deliver a crippling blow." Collins nodded. "All right, let's do it. All power to the engines. We're taking the Indomitable in close." The Indomitable surged forward, dodging enemy fire as it closed in on the Dominion dreadnought. The battle around them was fierce, with ships exploding in every direction, but Collins and her crew remained focused on their target. As they approached, the Indomitable fired a concentrated burst from its adaptive plasma cannons, targeting the weak point Athena had identified. The beams struck true, penetrating the dreadnought's shields and detonating deep within its hull. And the war. As the Zorgon invasion reached its climax, the remnants of Earth's defenses were pushed to their limits. The relentless bombardment and the unyielding advance of the Zorgon forces had decimated the planet's major cities and infrastructure. Yet, even in these darkest moments, a glimmer of hope emerged. The quantum disruptor, once a symbol of desperation, had been successfully deployed and activated. Its effects were immediate and profound. The Zorgon energy shields, previously impregnable, began to flicker and falter. The disruption in their defensive capabilities allowed the battered human forces to launch a counteroffensive with renewed vigor. In the heart of the Zorgon fleet, Grand Admiral Kavar watched in disbelief as his once dominant forces struggled against a sudden and fierce resurgence of human resistance. The Zorgons had underestimated the resolve and ingenuity of humanity. The quantum disruptor had leveled the playing field, and the tide of the battle was turning. Commander Alex Carter and her team, having successfully infiltrated the Zorgon flagship, had managed to deliver a critical blow. The disruption in the Zorgon's command structure and the loss of their advanced shielding technology had thrown their invasion plans into disarray. The Zorgon fleet, now vulnerable, was forced into a chaotic retreat, humanity's triumph. The once hopeless situation had transformed into a rallying cry for humanity. The quantum disruptor had not only neutralized the Zorgon threat, but had also demonstrated the unyielding spirit of Earth's defenders. The human forces, although battered and scarred, were now on the offensive. The Zorgon fleet, disorganized and retreating, faced fierce resistance as it attempted to withdraw. Human ships, reinvigorated by their newfound advantage, engaged the Zorgons with a renewed ferocity. The once formidable Zorgon armada was being systematically dismantled, piece by piece. On Earth, the survivors emerged from their bunkers to witness the start of a new chapter. The devastation was immense, but the spirit of resilience and unity had carried them through the darkest of times. Reconstruction began as a symbol of humanity's strength and determination to rise from the ashes of destruction. A glimpse of the future. With the Zorgon forces routed and the immediate threat neutralized, humanity faced the daunting task of rebuilding and recovering from the devastation. The scars of the invasion were visible across the globe, but the resilience and unity of the human spirit had prevailed. The recovery efforts were led by a coalition of nations, working together to repair the damaged infrastructure and support the displaced populations. The technology and lessons learned from the conflict were used to fortify defenses and prepare for any future threats. The quantum disruptor had proven to be a game changer, and its technology was now integrated into Earth's defense systems. Captain Donovan, now hailed as a hero, continued to lead efforts in space exploration and defense. The experience had strengthened his resolve and deepened his commitment to protecting humanity. His leadership and courage had become a symbol of hope and determination. Legacy of courage. As the years passed, the events of the Zorgon invasion became a defining moment in human history. The conflict had tested the limits of human endurance and ingenuity, and the legacy of those who fought and sacrificed was honored and remembered. The quantum disruptor and other technologies developed during the war became cornerstones of human advancement. The resilience displayed by individuals and the collective effort to rebuild had become a source of inspiration for future generations. The Zorgons, once a fearsome enemy, were now a distant memory. The lessons learned from the invasion were passed down, ensuring that humanity remained vigilant and prepared for any future challenges. The story of the Zorgon invasion was a testament to the strength and spirit of humanity, a reminder of what could be achieved when faced with seemingly insurmountable odds. Echoes of victory. The aftermath of the Zorgon invasion saw humanity forging a new era of cooperation and exploration. The challenges faced during the conflict had led to unprecedented advancements in technology and international unity. The once fractured world had come together to build a future founded on shared purpose and strength. The heroes of the conflict, including Commander Alex Carter and Captain Donovan, were celebrated as icons of human resilience. Their bravery and sacrifices had paved the way for a new chapter in human history, one marked by a renewed commitment to peace and exploration. The story of the Zorgon invasion, with its themes of courage, resilience, and innovation, became a cornerstone of human history. It served as a powerful reminder of the extraordinary things humanity could achieve when faced with the greatest of challenges.